Lashley, the guy that you're bringing in, Harson mentioned the potential for some little bit of versatility, but what appealed to you about him and bringing him in here, and and what he maybe do on your defense?
You know what? Just his experience.
Yeah.
Getting a guy to be able to come in here with experience and he pretty good production and the final thing was a guy that wanted to be here really really bad and understood the situation where we got plenty of guys coming back. We did lose a linebacker that was really really good and there's going to be an opportunity for whoever. But understanding we have guys that are very capable, of taking over that opportunity. And the guy still wanted to be here more than anything. And he's come here and he's been humble, he's been hungry, he's done a great job learning the defense and preparing himself. And so, we're looking forward to jumping into this camp and getting, him as well as the rest of the linebackers off to a fast start.
You have kids now, but to be playing college football and him having a family like that, that's gonna be pretty impressive.
You know what? And he's got that matureness to him. And if there's very few guys that are that age that can handle it, and I can see how he does, and he's mature.
Yeah,
he is mature. He is, from our experiences with him, I can see, his maturity, his accountability and stuff, how he handles his family life and things like that. So.
You got a guy from the University of Idaho. Is that a little unique?
Yeah, it's there's a first for everything. So like I said, he wanted to be here, and we're happy he's here. He's done a great job. He's fit in with the guys. So it's time to go to work now. He needs to put on that blue and orange and run around out there. We're excited to see him do it.
What have you seen? I guess since you got arrested, but with David Moa, he was a guy. Team leader and stuff like that, and something like that happens. And I asked Harson about it, and he said that the way he tried to internalize it, and it can show the rest of the team that he's a leader and stuff. But things like that can happen. How has he handled it since? And how have you seen him kind of try to grow from it?
Right. You know what? David is a guy that is very caring and cares about not only how he operates and how he handles himself and things like that, and especially in and around the facility. And I think, as for most people that age, you're going to go through some learning experiences, and it's how you move forward from that stuff. And we've been very pleased with how David's moved forward and instantly taking responsibility, accountability for his actions and the things that happen, and more importantly, picking up and moving on and making himself better. And that's what we're going to need out of him to continue to do. And he's had a great summer, so we look forward to seeing him, and seeing him on the field in terms of his mental development as a person and a player, and obviously his physical development.
It's hard to quantify what he did last season because his sophomore year, he was so active in getting sacks and TFLs. But you guys, every turn, I always said he was still being productive, even though I guess to most people it didn't appear that way. How would you describe the impact that he still was able to make last season, despite the fact that he wasn't getting those sacks?
Yeah, so there's you become productive, you draw more attention to yourself, and so his influence on the defense was still at a magnitude that we're a different team. We are different with defense without David Moa. And that's what he means to our defense, plain and simple. Are there ways where we can develop and get better in terms of finishing plays and doing those certain things? Right? You got to learn how to take on double teams. You're going to get the slide to you a lot and protections and whatnot. Hey, that's part of development, right? Experience, learning the fine details, how to continue to grow with the game as the game adjusts.
Your defensive line MVP last year was Sonatane. He was the DL MVP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what makes him? We're talking about these interior guys, but what makes him a productive part of this team? And he's obviously a pretty gregarious guy. A lot of people like him, but when he got that award, why was he the choice? Why was he a guy that you guys really liked, and what does he bring to the table?
Well, I think one thing, anybody that's played down there on the D-line, I've never played down there, but I've coached it, I've seen what happens. I've never done it, but to play that position in nose guard, there's a lot of things that go on, and you've got to be extremely, extremely tough mentally. He's got a great personality, what he brings every day, how he does it, playing one of the most physically and mentally demanding positions there is. and he's a technician. He's a coach already. He's a coach on the field, and I think all that provides the leadership that a lot of guys envy and respect. You know, and how he goes about it. So it was to no surprise. I mean, when you start handing out awards, it can go a couple different ways. You know. But we're looking forward to having those guys, obviously those guys back, the core guys back there on the D line.
I was asking Gabe about it with Keikoa. You know, when his name comes up, what do you think when his name comes up? Or what impresses you most? Because he's kind of a guy that it was at the end of the year, and Gabe noticed it in the same year. You're like, oh wow, that guy had a lot of production.
Yeah.
And he kind of did it. I don't want to say quietly, but maybe. It was kind of consistent. I don't know, but what did stand out to you most about Keikoa and what he's brought to your defense?
Well, I think that's that. He, especially down the stretch last year, just becoming consistent and finding that groove and becoming comfortable with what it is to prep, how it translates on the field, and then when the lights come on, being able to do it with confidence. When you could see that as the season went along for him building and being able to see his development this offseason and that continuing to take place, that's what's exciting about him. Probably not a big rah guy, but he's going to lead by example, right? He's going to get it done, and what you're going to get from him every single day.
He has, when you talk to him, he seems a little quiet, kind of like you said, but there's like a slow burn to him, a quiet intensity, I guess. I mean, does that translate onto the field? Because it does seem like that he's that kind of guy. He's not going to be the one, smashing people's heads in with before the game or anything like that. But he's just going to be the guy that's going to go out there, and as soon as that kickoff goes, he's just going to.
It's on.
Yeah.
The switch gets flipped, and he's going. And the good thing about him being on the field is a lot of times how loud you talk doesn't matter because you can't hear, right? So the rest of that stuff. His growth last year that we saw and his leadership on the field and him as a safety. The safety's got a lot of responsibilities in terms of, setting coverages and adjusting coverages and things and communicating with the linebackers and their half of the field and all that stuff. And he does a tremendous job with that stuff.
I have one more question for you. I'm going to do a video. Andy, coming off of a strong season on defense, going into this with so many guys returning, what are areas that you're trying to focus on here in fall camp with these guys?
It starts with our foundation and our fundamentals and techniques. We got experience, we got depth, but it's about how we continue to develop and get better. And those things are going to make a big difference for us to get off to a good, fast start and be able to fly around and play with good habits and good techniques. So it always starts with the small details, regardless if you got a lot of experience coming back or not. I think we can't overlook those things because those small things become big things.
It would seem that it would seem that you have one question replacing Leighton, but I'm assuming as a coach you have a lot more than that you have going into. What for you? What else do you need to kind of figure out before you play Troy?
We gotta we gotta continue to establish dependable depth. That's always the key. It's a good problem to have when you got a lot of pass rushers or a lot of guys that can cover and are dependable on that stuff. We're trying to develop that. We're trying to get that done. Find more packages or ways to get guys on the field. But it all starts with the fine details. We can't overlook this stuff. And we've got guys competing to take over LB's spot with him going on to the NFL. And for those guys, it's going to be the same message. It's about the foundation, the principles of how we play, and how the fundamentals and techniques, and the rest will take care of itself.
The linebacker position, obviously your group of, who are some of those guys, in terms whether it's Riley or Lashley? How do you kind of look at guys that are obviously going to see bigger roles as a result of the Leighton being gone?
Yeah, obviously Riley was the backup, and Bruno was in there last year, at times as well. And Blake Whitlock, coming off the shelf, who's had a tremendous offseason and feels as good as he's ever felt. And he provides leadership to the group. He's a guy we can't forget about that played a couple of years ago, in various roles and was productive and did a good job. Zeke Noah's a young guy that has done a pretty good job for us as well, and we're extremely excited about him. So the cool thing is that that's what fall camp's for. You get to go in there and answer some questions and build the chemistry and build a defense.
With Lashley, you lose 100 tackle guy and you somehow bring in 100 tackle guy. How do you kind of don't want to say fall into your lap, but to be able to get a guy like him and,
Yeah.
and to be, and a guy that is experienced and veteran,
Mm-hmm.
how big is that? And is he a guy that's going to play a lot for you?
He's done a tremendous job. Number one, he wanted to be here, and we felt that. And knowing our situation, being upfront about our situation, like there's competition. We lost one of the best college linebackers in the NFL, but we've got a lot of other guys, and being upfront, very, very much wanted to be here, and it's been great. Been humble, hungry. He's obviously had a lot of experience playing this game at this level and stuff. So the opportunity to get him to come in here has been great, and he's done a good job with it. And now as we jump into camp, that's the next step. We got to get him off to a fast start and get him rolling and get him comfortable, and then where we go from there, time will tell.
It wasn't hard getting past it. He was coming from Idaho.
You know what? Hey, like we said, there was a first for everything.
It's been almost 10 years.
So I couldn't even tell you when the last time or the first time or whatever it happened, but hey, we're excited about Tony and that he's here.
In terms of defense, we've asked in spring and stuff, but there's, we're looking at the defenses of the past at Boise State and saying, oh, this can be another one of those kind of dominant defenses and stuff. How do you make sure they're not reading the press clippings? And is this the kind of defense that you think will, not let that kind of stuff get to them?
Yeah. Well, in your question, could is the main word right there, and that's you're 100% right, and you know that. And staying humble and hungry. We don't, we can read the stuff, and everybody's got a choice to make about the decisions and how we motivate ourselves and how we stay focused. And we got experience, we got depth. Guys should understand how to handle that, and we will remind them as we go along how to handle that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the confidence and the feel good about that stuff, but at the same time too, we got to stay humble and hungry, and how we keep that in ourselves is the most important thing. And it's not only in football, it's in life, it's in school. That's what we're developing in these guys. So here's another challenge for us as we go along. You're 100% right.
What does having 10 starters back allow you to do in terms of scheme or practice or whatever? Obviously from a talent standpoint it's obvious, but what else can you do with that kind of returning depth?
No question. We're able to eventually move along and do more things and develop within the defense. And at times we're able to pull back as coaches too, because with the experience, they understand what the standard is to be expected. They will help coach and get guys. One of the best things Leighton did last year was help coach 2 freshman linebackers that were able to contribute. We need other guys like that to step up this year and take care of their young brothers and help us coach them and teach them the Boise State way, the standard.
With we've heard more trying to do more of the cheetah package out there, just trying to use those guys. How do you kind of weigh the fact that they're both so talented and you want to play Jabril and Curtis and Sam out there,
Sam,
but the fact that part of the reason they were so good last year and productive is because they were fresh and healthy. How do you kind of weigh wanting to get them out there, but also it didn't work last year, you don't want to screw it up?
It's a fine balance. There's no question. And it's a long season. And I think the guys get that and understand that, and they're all going to get theirs. If they continue on the trajectory they've been on and being dependable and accountable, they're all going to get theirs. And it's a long season, and so that's the exciting part. That's a very good problem to have. And so we got young guys coming up too that they're helping us develop, and at some point those guys are going to become them. So we can't get enough pass rushers, cover guys, and run fit guys. And at the end of the day, that's what we got to be strong at.
In terms of what your play calling and stuff, the fact that you have 4 returning starters in the secondary, and 2 safeties, obviously they're very talented, and then Tyler, can you, whether it's blitz more, I don't know, what does it allow you to do when you feel pretty confident about your back end?
Mm-hmm. As anything, you're confident. We all got to trust and be confident in each other, and I trust those guys, whether it's on the field or off the field. We can have conversations now, and they get to make decisions on things because this is their team, this is their program. And I think that's an awesome thing that Coach Harsin does too with all these guys that are older. And a lot of those guys in the secondary help us. And so when we go on the field, they have ownership, and they have ownership, and it means a lot to them. So that's the fun part about it, where we're getting to. And we want to continue to build guys up to, eventually become that when these guys go on. It's college football. It's going to happen.